Worst parts of great games. Lords of the Fallen, 2023 version. This is the game that answered the question of, hey, what if we made Dark Souls, but we have the two worlds mechanic from Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past? Which I'm not sure is a question that anyone ever actually asked. Nonetheless, we got an answer. And while this particular Souls-like may not quite be up to the standards of From Software, it does scratch the itch of wanting a Souls-like while you're waiting for From Software to make another one. Having all of the bleak atmosphere you could possibly ask for, and NPCs that always end up having a bad fate after you help them. But overall, Dark Souls' edgy imitator here was actually pretty enjoyable. But there is one rather confusing design decision that somewhat detracts from the game. You have the ability to set up temporary checkpoints. Only one of these can exist at a time, and will cease to exist when you create another in a different location. Which, in and of itself, is actually a good idea. And this mechanic is balanced by requiring an item, and only allowing these to be placed in specific locations. And on paper, all of that sounds pretty good. Where this mechanic somewhat fumbles is with the locations you can actually place these in. In some parts of the game, these are incredibly sparse, and when you see them, you're quite happy to have found them. But rather ironically, as you get further into the game, these locations where you can place a temporary checkpoint become far more common, oftentimes being very close to one another, or very close to actual regular checkpoints. I understand these existing in areas where you've been at it a while and it's nice to take a little break. But what exactly is the point of having one just across a courtyard from an actual checkpoint? Or having one on the first floor of a building, next to some stairs, that lead to another one on the second floor of the building? And it's not like that stairway was a shortcut that was unlocked in some fashion. And you would think that as you got further into the game, these temporary checkpoint locations would actually become less common, not more common. But the overabundance of these locations is what really ruins the back half of Lords of the Fallen 2023. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and tell your friends.